Hello and welcome you crazy people to Tabletop Odyssey. My name is Jay and today we're not going to do anything particularly special. I'm just going to talk about my experience at the Star Wars Legion Fantasy Flight Game National side event that happened in Birmingham on Friday the 23rd, 24th, something like that, whatever it was. I did when I went to my Element Games and I did a video and I spoke about all my games and somebody recommended that I take pictures. Well, I tried that and then gave up because it was essentially just distracting me and taking too long. So basically, I'm not going to do that. so if you're expecting like actual tournament reports, it's probably not going to happen. It's a bit too difficult. I will, however, tell you how I got on, which, spoiler, very badly. But it doesn't really matter. So let's talk about the event first, because I think it's the first maximum firepower event in the UK. However, there was a few organisational issues. Nothing that was it's nothing sinister, just things that couldn't be helped. So what I'm led to believe is that essentially the people hosting it, I think Asmodee, didn't know if they were getting the Asmodee. I don't actually know how you pronounce that. I've always just seen it written. Didn't know if they were going to have the prize pack in time or not for the event. So I think it went up basically like the weekend before, and the tickets were basically for Friday morning. Obviously, Friday morning, not a great time for people at work. If you're out of work like me, it's not that bad, but obviously that's not a perfect time. Everybody said if it was Saturday or Sunday, people were like, oh, I'd do this event and then do this event. So I feel like you would have got more players. To put it in perspective, Rune Wars, which isn't necessarily at the top of anybody's list at the moment, got 8 players, and Star Wars Legion only got 6. And people are like, oh, small turnout. But the reality is, you had less than a week pretty much to get your tickets. You only had 2-3 days to get your tickets, I think, and then you had to buy it on the door. And I was the only person to go on the door basically, and there was 5 tickets sold pre-hand. Which is all well and good. Nobody was annoyed by this because everybody understands the situation, if that makes sense. If they do a proper planning out of it, you could easily get 30, 40 people. If that was on a Sunday, I think even at this stage, there'd be 40 people. And there was a couple of thoughts in my head. I was like, oh, well, there's no painting requirements, so I can go because I've not finished painting yet. And I sort of wonder if we'll ever get to a stage where painting requirements are a requirement. Just because, I think obviously the first year, FFG realised people need to make the force build up, and there's no massive events. But once we get to a stage where there are big events, whether or not you actually need a painting requirement, it's interesting. That's possibly a subject for its own separate video. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't know I was going because I didn't want to spend the money to go Thursday night, book a hotel, then go in the morning, pay for the parking all day, which was 20 quid. A hotel would have been 30 quid. The tournament itself was 20 quid. Do you know what I mean? The amount that I'm spending, because I don't have a job at the minute, would just be racking up. So I was pessimistic. I was not sure I was going to do that. So I thought, if I'm going, I'll go Friday morning. Now, obviously, it's a bank holiday weekend. It was today. I'm recording this on Sunday. The amount of traffic would have been really bad. And anybody who knows the M6 to Birmingham, there's a lot of 50-mile-an-hour zones at the minute. And it's quite frustrating because there's a lot of roadworks. So I was so I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, which was my mistake number one. And I got there about 20 past 7. I only needed to be there at 9. I think I got there as Ellis and the guys from Command Legion were setting off. I probably could have easily made 6:30, but I was just, because I hadn't bought a ticket, I was just a bit worried. We only got underway at 10, so I really had time to probably not be so crazy. But that's what happened. I do have pictures. I don't have that many pictures, so this is me when I take a selfie. So I'm not trying to sleep. This is a selfie. There's only me in this car. This is me in my car. This is when I'm there at 7:20. I've got an hour and a half and I'm shattered. That's basically what that is. This is just outside the event. Oh, that's Rafa there. I don't know if you can see. He's a very good X-Wing player. I think his son, who I don't know his name, who won the X-Wing Worlds, was also there. This is just another view of the same place. And then this is the table for the first game. Now, all the tables were the same. And the terrain was provided by TT Combat. Again, even apparently they were doing it last minute, and for a last minute job, their terrain looks absolutely exquisite. They actually, at the end of this tournament, they were like, somebody was like, can I buy this pre-made? And they just let some of the people buy them pre-made. So Nikki from Star Wars Legion Command just like paid like 80 quid or something and took loads of it, which is really good because MDF terrains are really good, and this terrain looks really good, but the assembling of it can be a bit of a pain. Now, they did change around the tables after each game, so we weren't just playing on the same style. But, you know, visually, the tables aren't very distinct, which was not a massive problem, but just a slight issue. The hall itself, did I take a picture of the hall itself? I'm fairly sure I did, but very blurry. It's very blurry. Basically, I took a few pictures and they were all blurry. I should have gone up on the balcony and took pictures. That's only half of the arena. To the right, there's another half and like a stage. That's another view of the tables. This is my first game, which I'll get onto now. Shall we do that now? So, spoiler alert, I lost all 3 games. There was 6 of us there. 4 of them, I think, came down from Star Wars Legion Command, and there was a gentleman called Di, who told me that's the Welsh equivalent of Dave. So I'm almost tempted to call him Dave, because Di, I don't know if I'm saying it right, and it sounds like maybe I'm not. But anyway, I played Di. Everybody I played, I already know the Star Wars Legion Command guys. Di was the only person I'd never met, and he's a lovely gentleman indeed. Yeah, I took Vader. Right, we'll talk about my list. You can sort of see my list here. I'm on the near side player. I took Vader, 3 units of Stormtroopers, 1 with an extra guy, but all with the DLT, 2 units of Snowtrooper with Flamer and an extra guy, 2 units of Speeder Bikes. And the Imperial lists generally were Vias, 3 units of Speeder Bikes, and then Stormtroopers. I think literally every other Imperial list was that, and I was the only Vader. The other 2 were Rebels, and they obviously had Luke and Leia, so that's how that went down. And I said, I'm not going to talk too much about the games because I don't have pictures, but I do have pictures for this game, so I will talk very briefly about this one. Essentially, we're playing, I can't remember the name of the thing, the one where there's 3 objectives, but the blue player places it first on terrain, then I place one, then he places one. Now, he did his there, and then I did mine here, and I should have not done it over here. I should have done it here, and just had that with a unit just to cover this entire area. And the thing that happened, I said to Di at the start of this game, I was like, this comes down to 2 things, your Speeder Bikes and my Vader. And I kept misplaying Vader. I didn't do Vader justice at all, and it basically lost me every game, I think. My opponents were probably better than me as well, but it doesn't help when you aren't doing your best. If that makes sense. Like, I kept shooting myself in the foot. Like, in this game, looking at it here, if I think about what I'm going to do, what I should have done is sent Vader up this right hand side here to end up behind this barrier here, because I'm flanked away from this, from the Speeder Bikes on here. He has cover here, and then he only has maybe, I could even use Implacable, maybe go 1, 2, and then maybe on the 3rd turn, or at least if I'm not getting 3rd turn, I could maybe get behind the barrier, so I get cover from over here. Do you know what I mean? This side, looking at it now, makes more sense, because I only have 1 turn of risk. What I ended up doing is sending him this way, and he dies here, because he doesn't. They move up to claim the objective. I get very close, and he dies. Now, this game was very swingy in dice rolls, right? Sometimes it was, I mean, honestly, like, sometimes I just rolled so badly. Me and him were like, what the flip? And he was like apologizing. I was like, it's not your fault, it's just the way it goes, isn't it? But then on another roll, I was like, oh, everything I needed. So very swingy in dice rolls. The dice rolls didn't really affect this game though, even though isn't that weird to say? Like, the dice rolls were so swingy, but it actually didn't matter. Like, I would have lost anyway. I felt like I had, even misplaying this, if Vader gets in with enough wounds to munch these guys, I still could have won that game. But I went the wrong way, I think. So all that happened here. Vader moves up. The Speeder Bikes come and kill him. Everybody else, like my flamethrower guys, they move up. Throw my grenades at the Speeder Bikes. Basically kill them. My Speeder Bikes also kill his Speeder Bikes. Most of them, he has more left at the end of the day, but that's just the way it goes. And then nobody else really did anything interesting. It was all about Vader, and Vader didn't do it. And he flew his Speeder Bikes really well. But yeah, the main takeaway from this is that I need to learn how to play with Vader better. Like a lot of people were saying like Ellis and stuff like that. They don't think Vader's the best because he's very slow, and it's very easy to like play keep away from him. But it's not helped when somebody like me is not doing very well, not doing it very well. So in my second game, I played somebody who won so because there was only 6 of us, one of us had to play somebody who won in the first game. And Nicky beat Ellis in his first game. They're probably as good as each other, so don't take anything too much away from that. But Nicky beat me. But Nicky beat me in a way like this game was pretty much over in like turn 3 because Vader just died before I got in combat. Right, the first game, I mean. Nicky game did last till turn 5 or 6, but we played Breakthrough, and to be fair, again, why did I allow Breakthrough? I think I would have even been better with the one with the objectives because at least I could have run forward to a specific thing. Breakthrough, he had 3 units of speeder bikes. All he really needed to do if he wanted to play boringly was just put his speeder bikes in near my end zone and go around in a circle, and I wouldn't have been able to do anything, and I would never have got my units across the board. But the terrain, because we didn't have any like difficult terrain, or in the second game there was no like barriers in the way. It was basically like a building, and then a building, and like a funnel point. And Vader really doesn't like that because you put Vader in there, he'd get shot and he dies. And that was essentially what happened in my third game. In the second game, Vader was like, "Oh, I'm going to stop you from coming from this way, and I'm going to stop you from coming this way." But I could not deal with the other side of the board. Sort of feel like Vader needs something where he can do a move too, or he needs somebody in control who's better than I am, which probably isn't very hard. Game number. So I mean, he beat me in breaks. I got 2 units into his end zone, but he just killed them in the last turn, basically. And he had like 2 in mine. So I mean, it felt like it was weird that game because the first game was over in like turn 3. We just played for fun. But it was. I never felt like I felt like I could win it, if that makes sense. Like it was over in turn 3, but I felt like if Vader gets there, it's debatable. I think I probably would have still lost, don't get me wrong, but it would have been a much more interesting game. The second game, even though it went to like turn 5 and 6, I never felt like I had a chance. And I think that's because, one, I let the type of game influence me a little bit, and 2, I should have just committed Vader straight up, or just gone through the middle of one and just let him shoot at me. But I don't know. I need to get better with him, so there's no point talking about what I should have done because I don't actually know at the minute. Third game, I played against Nicky W. I don't want to say his last name. It's not Nicky, it's Nick W. The sun's come out for a change, considering it's been raining all day. Now, we'd both lost our 2 games, so this was the battle for last place, which unfortunately I lose the battle for last place, so I finished last. That was a game. It was the one with the 5 objectives. He put his objectives in one corner. I put my objectives in the other. Luke just takes the one in the middle. I don't really have anything to get there. It's up on a building as well. I try and run Vader forward, but basically he's got layers, so he pops out, takes the objectives, and then just runs away from Vader. And I'm like, yeah, I should have seen that coming. Maybe not, because I just started charging Vader up the board. Then Vader was dying, so I tried to like hide around. What I possibly should have done is just gone around and maybe tried to kill Luke, try and claim the middle one, and then have everybody sweep to his corner. But I didn't. So I need to formulate some plans, get a little bit better with Vader. The games it's not like the games all boil down to Vader. And I'm not sure what I need to do with Vader at the moment. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to have a look at maybe like what objectives I should do with Vader, what's good for him, what's bad for him, what like limited visibility is probably good thinking about it now. Maybe I should make a blue bid, initiative bid, so I can try and get that one. There's all sorts of things that I need to look at a little bit more. I wasn't even sure I was going until Thursday night, to be fair, but I need to think also before the game, once the game is getting played on the board, I need to think about like what my opponent's going to want to do and what I'm going to want to do, and like commit heavily to that, if that makes sense. Prizes wise, I'm not 100% sure what everybody got. I think everybody got an Earthspeeder alternate card. If you finish, you got a Darth Vader one, which I was quite happy with because I was the only Darth Vader player. Some victory point tokens, and me and Di both got the Sportsmanship Award, although I'm a bit convinced that that was just like you finished last, here, have one of these. But you never know. And then like there was other, like Best in Faction got a binder, some alt card for I think the ATST if you were Best in Faction, or if you won, I'm not 100% sure. But there were some prizes and that kind of thing. So I was pretty happy with the loot. It was a good day, just nice meeting people, nice playing the game, because it's that's what it's all about, isn't it, really? I need to get better though. And hopefully my plan is I want to draft somebody in who's a bit better than me to help me with the video series about getting better, and hopefully that'll make sense. So the person who won was Jamie. Can't remember his last name either, but I don't want to say his last name. So Jamie won. He beat Nikki, Nick, and I think Di. And second, I think, then was Nikki, the guy who beat me in round 2, and I think Ellis was the best Rebel player. Good event. Obviously, it was a small event. It was a side event, so nothing major. We keep saying, one, top 6 nationals in the UK. 2, also last UK nationals. Not a great feeling. 3, Jamie, obviously UK national Star Wars Legion best player in the UK. Obviously. We were sort of just joking about stuff like that. We know there weren't enough people to really determine anything, so don't take that seriously. But yeah, really fun day. I'll definitely try and go again next year. Hopefully it'll be a bit bigger and a bit more, I don't want to say better organised, that sounds like an insult. More advanced, prepared more in advance, shall we say. But yeah, I had a good time. I need to get better with Vader. I want to get better with Vader, but it's like, when Boba Fett comes out, am I even going to run him? I don't know. We'll answer these questions in the future. If you liked me rambling about this, then do like. If you've not subscribed already, then also do that. Have a beautiful day, and goodbye. Bye, guys.